Hello everybody and welcome back to Medieval Dynasty. Last time we got our first house built, started our little village. Today we are going to start working on getting our town, our little tiny town here, ready to accept some new villagers. We also got a skill at the end of last time, so we're going to go through the skill tree. And yeah, just start getting our little village going here. So for starters here, let's look at skills really quick. So last time we leveled up in survival. Now skills are a little weird. There's 4 tiers of skills here. To go into the next tier of skills, you don't need to max out a certain skill or get like a particular number of points in tier 1. You just need any points in tier 1 and that unlocks tier 2. And then any point in tier 2 unlocks tier 3 and so on for tier 4. That's the same for all the different skill sets, unless it's changed. I don't think this has changed in the update, but we're going to find out right now. So for survival, we have survival knowledge, 5% more XP from survival activities, basic XP boost. This helps us level a little bit faster in here. Insensitive, increased tolerance to cold weather. So far this hasn't been too much of an issue, and I haven't found this very useful. There's some rare instances where you get cold, but I have never found it to be problematic to deal with, so I don't tend to put points into this. And then resistance to poison. I mean, if you're gonna weirdly experiment with food and just try and grab whatever or eat raw meat, I guess this is useful, but you know what the food is when you pick it, so it tells you what chance you have to, say, poison yourself with mushrooms or whatever. So yeah, not really super useful. Survival knowledge is going to be our best one right now, so we'll increase this. And then you can see now that tier 2 here has lit up. So seeing mushrooms, father, herbs, and inspector mode. Not father, feathers and herbs and inspector mode. So that'll be one option. And then strong as an oak, increased health. That's always useful. Loss of food and water slower at tier 3. That's not bad. It is annoying to constantly have to stop and eat. And then as you start making further journeys away from your camp, it ends up becoming kind of a burden to carry so much. Headstrong, increased alcohol resistance. I haven't even gotten into that so far in the game, so that hasn't been an issue. 10% faster movement and water. There's only so much water. Tier 4 here, reduce stamina during movement. This is awesome. Stamina runs out really fast when you're running and you walk kind of slow, and it's a big map, so this is actually a really, really good one. And then 10% less damage received. Less damage is useful, but just as useful as more health. But I think by far athlete is the best one in survival. You'll see each one of these have different unique ones. A lot of them have tier 1 increased experience as an option. The big ones to look at though, let's see. Romeo, they changed this around a little bit. Real personalities. This is useful for building reputation with people. Barter, increased buying and selling prices under diplomacy. This is very useful. The affection points gained while flirting is definitely going to be very useful when you start trying to find a wife. That process can take a little while, especially if you don't have any increased points in it. Inspiring speech. Oh, they made this one a little bit better. That's good. So now it has increased production by NPCs. I don't know why Hand of the King is still in here. I read in the patch notes that they removed the King's quest line, but there must be different quests that have to do with this now. Mood reduction. This is important now because if you have moods get too low with your villagers, they'll just leave your village. Lower taxes. Taxes get very expensive down the road. And then lower demand for food and water. That's not bad. Where is the big one? Let's see. Axis, you go through axis really fast. Mule, hey. Okay, this right here is probably one of the single most useful skills you can have, because encumbrance is brutal in this game, and an extra 15 kilos in carry weight is amazing. Super amazing. It doesn't sound like much, but you know, you have 35, so you add another 15 to that and get up to 50. You can carry as much as you can hold in a chest in a house. It's very useful, and everything that you wear, all the weapons you have, all of those count against your encumbrance in this. And then you can see the tree over here. It's just the same skills represented, and you have the number of points up to the next level. And then if we look at survival, you can see we have 1 point in it. I think this is available points. We just use them. Oh yeah, right here. Skill points to spend. Once you are married, you can use your wife to reset your stats, but until then, you're kind of locked into whatever you first pick. So be a little careful when you first are picking them. But if you see things that you're like, oh, I'd rather have that long term, don't worry. There is an option to do a remapping of the skills later. Let's do a quick look here at the quest that we have. So right now, set up a rabbit trap. We'll actually probably do this right away so that we can start getting some food going within our village. Wooden spear, stone knife, also useful for hunting. And then yeah, hunting, surviving a season is really easy to do. He just wants sticks. Remember his quest was for the scythes. We could have done that right away, but he just wants sticks. Unless the storyline has changed, he mostly wants like sticks and then a hoe and then a bow and arrow, and then he wants to do a shooting contest, and it's this whole thing. On this guy's story, the Castilian here, this changes over time, but every complete year he will pop up with a quest to pay taxes, so that's a big thing. Oh, she actually wants unripe berries, so that's good to know. And we get apples for it. That's pretty nice. And then he wants straw, so that's easy. So it looks like they've made some adjustments to the quests. The last time I played through this, there was a bunch of quests I was given that I just couldn't possibly do because I didn't have the technology yet. And it was really annoying, but it looks like they've adjusted a lot of these to actually fit within the time that you're at when you first start the game. So that's really nice. I'm glad to see that. Speaking of technology, for purposes of planning, it's good to kind of look at this ahead of time. So we can see here that on building technology, which in this you're going to get points into by just building things. So this happens naturally. You know, eventually we go from resource storage, which we're definitely going to need to build fairly soon. Woodshed, which is where you can assign villagers to chop stuff down. A simple house, which is the next house level up from what we have right now. Extraction shed, this is for villagers to mine. This is just a larger resource storage, larger woodshed. Mine that actually goes up in the mountains to mine in a mine shaft, so they can go up there and gather like iron ore and stuff for us. Whereas the excavation shed, they're getting like stone and clay. And then eventually you get a large house. This is designed to house like a family. And then you get up to the largest resource storage. So the main reason it's good to look at this stuff early is you can see here that like we have a level 1 resource storage, and then a level 2, and then a level 3. The first time I did this, I did not account for the fact that resource storage was going to get larger and larger over time. So definitely worth considering as you build stuff. If you want to kind of leave things in the same area, either to plan a nearby space to build the next larger version, which could be relevant because you need somewhere to store your storage while you build the new one. Or if you want to like bury stuff around and move it and replace it, you need to still have the footprint available to build these larger things. So important to keep in mind. And then hunting lodge, fishing lodge, you know, under survival. You know, again, these just naturally go up as you do stuff in the game. Important to note, though, you'll see the schemes. There wasn't that many in building technology, but there's a lot in survival technology here. And you can see, oh, okay, I don't have a coin right now anyway, or enough technology, but you can see you end up buying these things, and that's how you unlock these things. So right now we have a rabbit trap, but eventually we can unlock a bird trap, and then it's kind of the same thing. It will passively collect for us. There's a ton of them under farming, and I will say one of my big mistakes, and something we're going to focus on fairly early on here, is I did not put enough into farming when I first started, and it was a really big mistake. It really hindered me long term. I eventually got to livestock, but it took me like lots and lots of seasons, and that's not great. I want to get that way earlier this time. I focused way too much on production technology, and while some of this stuff is definitely useful, you know, I definitely put too much focus in it. So we're going to put a little more focus into farming this time. So with that all in mind, let's start doing our quests here really quick. We're going to go build our rabbit trap. So that's just a hand build. Oops. Some of this stuff is in weird decoration. Yep. So rabbit trap, furniture and decorations, and then traps. All right. This takes 10 sticks. So it's not super important where this goes. I just mostly put it in a handy spot that you're going to walk by a lot, because that's the main thing. When it traps a rabbit, this will be flat on the ground. You can go and collect the rabbit and then reset the trap, and you can get, I don't remember the exact number, 3, 4 rabbits out of this before you're just going to have to rebuild it because it breaks down. There's no repairing it or anything like that. You just eventually have to replace it. And it'll give you a durability rating each time that you go through, and each time you go through and collect it. So spear, we have enough logs for that. Make that really quick. And then a stone knife. We need more sticks. So let's grab more sticks. Build a stone knife really quick. And while it only tells you to craft a single spear and go hunting, I definitely recommend before you go hunting, crafting like 4 or 5 spears. They break, and they break very fast. But also, once they're stuck into the animal, you're not getting them back until you take that animal down. So you definitely want multiple spears because you can throw them. And in a lot of the animals, once you start hunting them, with the exception of like deer, who just run away really fast, they tend to charge you. Like one of the easiest things to hunt, because they don't just run away, is boars, but you want to have a lot of spears to chuck spears at them. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble. Oops. Anyway, so let's look at our buildings really quick, see what we have. We already built a house. We can't build any extraction stuff yet. We can't build any of the storage sheds yet. We need farming technology. How do we get farming technology to start with? Gathering, maybe? Maybe we should go find these berries. I guess while we're at it, we can go ahead and make some additional spears, just so we have them. Maybe we'll get lucky and come across something. These trees are a little particular once they're on the ground. You have to like let the game catch up to the fact that there's a tree on the ground before you can line it up properly and get the spear or get the wood chop. I did say not to focus on production too much, but The workshop's definitely useful because you make things like shovel there. You make things like the bow and arrow. They've added a new wooden crossbow, which I assume you would make there as well. Arrows, you know, that sort of thing. So it is pretty useful to get the initial one. I wouldn't go too hard into like sewing because that really is dependent upon either livestock or flax from farming. So those things are actually more important to get squared away first. Let's go ahead and get the spear equipped here. Number 3. You can see here, you can throw the spear or you can jab with the spear. These do break down fairly fast. You probably get about 3 or 4 good throws out of them before they break apart. This is not berries. Oh, there's berries. Guess I'll drop this. You can see there's also some herbs that you can get. This one has to do with poisoning. So if you do get poisoning, you do want to have some of these around, so it's useful to have a few of them. Let's pop up our food here really quick. Careful not to eat too fast. Great. Alright, so we got the berries. We need some sticks for our other quests. You can see the walk speed is really pretty slow. That's why I say it's definitely... Oh, we got plenty of sticks for that. Definitely useful to have increased stamina because you'll spend a lot of time running. Journal. That's what we'll look at. So we got his sticks. Oh, he wanted 1 stick. Wow, we could have just done that. I think we had 1 stick when we talked though. The berries we got, and we got the straw. So actually, let's go turn these in really quick. We would run into the issue that it's nighttime and people actually go to sleep and then you can't turn in quests, but I think by the time we get there, people will be waking up. And I forgot to pay attention to my stamina. Alright, Dan. You'll see this is a pretty long run. It's why I built closer last time, but long term it didn't work out as well. I think it was right in this area maybe. You can see how quickly it gets hilly back in there. I had issues, especially with trying to lay down fields. It didn't work super well. Yeah, because it was near this bridge, so it was somewhere right in this area that I was building. So definitely having that, you know, level of flat ground will be really nice. And plus they added all those trees, so that makes it pretty ideal. Alright, not too much further to the village. Worst case scenario, if it's still really late at night, we can build a fire really quick and just sleep by the fire until morning. See if we can get an idea here. I don't see the moon, so we might be getting close to day. Maybe it's just behind the trees. I guess it had just turned over. Just turned over to night. Might be awake. I might be lucky. Some people might still be awake. Let's see. Oh, he's not there. He used to always hang out. Let's see. Scenes. You'll see this more later, but don't be afraid to over-harvest things like food. There's a major problem early on with fertilizer. And one of the ways to make fertilizer, other than, you know, animal byproducts, is wait, let me still turn it on. One of the ways to solve that, other than animal byproducts, is from rotting food. That can be vegetables, it can be meat, it can be all kinds of stuff. Yeah, let me wake him up for another quest. That's all. So don't be afraid to have extra and let your food kind of rot. I kind of feel bad waking all these people up. How you settled me in? Not too bad. Got my own house. Where'd you picked up hunting? Starting to. There's no crazy laws here about hunting. That's good to know. Oh yeah, there's this dude up north that wants some help with some wolves that we have to go talk to. Yeah, go back to bed. Sorry for waking you. And then our last one. You? No? Looked like they were in this building. I bet they're in the house next door, though. This is resource storage, by the way. This building will look like once we build our own. The other thing I'm going to try and do, you see how these people have, like, front yards, and some of them have decorations and stuff in them. Oh, wash bin. I realized last time I did this that these are actually beautification items. Like, they don't look like much, but they add to somebody's appeal, and it's very important for keeping people happy. And that's something I ran into last time that was a pretty big problem. I mean, people were okay. They weren't super thrilled about anything, but they weren't super angry about it either. So I'm going to try and space things out a little bit better this time. Maybe, you know, map some things out. You can build roads. They don't cost anything. You basically just remove the vegetation from a spot. So we'll probably lay down some roads and try and, you know, put down a grid, so to speak, so that we can actually have some fenced yards and things like that in front of people's houses. Maybe not all of them, but at least a few of them. Take a long run back to our house. I think I mentioned this last video, but you don't have to sleep. So other than it being harder to see predators at night, there's no real issues with staying awake. The big predators also don't come down near the river. From what I've seen, the one exception might be the Lynx. That's brand new. I have no idea where that might be, but generally speaking, you can keep going on about your business. This is another thing that we'll probably start cutting out. Tree chopping and travel time. You can eventually get mounts. I think the early one's supposed to be the donkey, and then you can get a horse as well. I have never gotten that far, so that's something we will have to kind of discover together. The main reason I haven't gotten that far is money. Things get very expensive, especially livestock, so that's why I want to get that stuff going a little earlier and try and get that together. The other thing to look at here, so under management here, eventually this will be where our people are and we can assign jobs and things like that. But we also have a building limit based on our dynasty reputation. So as we complete dynasty quests, this actually goes up over time. So that's good to know. We can have 5 buildings right now, so that's something we'll have to keep in mind. We are limited to 5 total buildings until we get that dynasty level increased. Farming. By farming and breeding animals, I don't know how we farm without... Maybe it's a quest thing. Did I pass our house? Oh, I'm on the wrong road. There's our house. Let's stay up again. We'll definitely have to spend some time getting together some seeds and things. They're kind of expensive, especially when you consider you have to do the fertilizer as well. To get some early farming. Let's see. Oh, we can build a field and an orchard. I haven't done an orchard yet. We'll want to get a little field going. Get ourselves a hoe. Oh, hey, we got a rabbit. So we'll go ahead and collect the rabbit. Rearm our trap. You can see the durability is down to 66% now. So, should handle two more. Two more rabbits, then we'll have to put up another one. And then, of course, raw meat will spoil pretty quickly. So, we can go ahead and cook it really quick. Maybe? What happened to just roasted meat? Really? Can you not do roasted meat in your home anymore? Oh, that's the cauldron. Okay. Aha, they separated it a little bit. Okay. We just roast our meat on a stick here. And now we've got some roasted meat, and that'll last a lot longer than the raw meat. So we got roasted meat, and we got dry meat. Roasted meat gets a little bit more food, but doesn't last quite as long, I think, is the differentiation between the two. Definitely are getting a little low on food. We might just have to hunt anyways, so. Let's go hunting really quick, and then... Oh, hey, look, the boar. Try not to die. And I'm a terrible shot. This is why you have lots of spears. Alright. And then you can recover your spears. And hopefully we've got two more on the ground over there. Now you don't have to have the knife equipped, but you do need to use the knife. So you need it in your inventory to be able to harvest. And you can see we got leather and meat. Another boar running around. By chance. What is predator vision? 2 settings, key bindings. Left bolts. There's spears. Grab our spears. Okay. Okay. I'll hunt you first. Or? Jeez. You're one tough pig. You can see the durability is going down each time, so eventually you just have to build new ones. But thankfully spears are easy. You can just build them out of logs and they don't take anything else. Alright, so that gets a little bit of meat to there we go. A little bit of meat to get us started on the food production. Oh, there's a third one. Why not? Go ahead. There we go. And if you don't see your spears at all, it's probably because it has just broken. But you can see a new symbol has appeared next to our food and water, and that is our dirty symbol. So that is telling us that we need a bath. And they've actually modified that system a little bit now so that it actually affects your ability to interact with people. If you're dirty, they don't want to talk to you, slash your reputation could suffer a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and build that, but it's under furniture. We need planks. Go for that. We need sawmill. Okay, we can't build that yet. We're just going to have to do dirty stuff. I don't think we can, like, wash without that. I don't think the river or anything count. See if it gives us an option if we go over here. Oh, you can just drink. So yeah, you definitely need the wash basin. Planks come from the sawmill. Once we have the sawmill, we can make planks there. Not the sawmill, the woodshed. Well, I didn't get quite what I wanted to yet, but I think we're going to go ahead and end it here for today. And next time we will definitely pick up on laying out our village, building a little bit of roads here to kind of pre-plan where we want to do stuff, and go from there. Thanks for watching.